Did we just get rid of boobies? We
Saying
didn't think
what
this through, Hank.
I want to lick the hell out of it.
I've really lost
Lotion
control here.
making-
I'm Hank.
I'm Rhett.
And I'm Link.
And this is Ask Hank Anything. And today, joining me are my friends Rhett and Link, two of the greats of the internet. And I'm really happy to have you in our little corner here. Hey.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, hi.
He's been doing this thing where he's been high-fiving people, and then it kind of makes me feel like I have to do it too. But I'm glad you stopped it and made it a grab.
Well, I thought we were just gonna hug. It felt for a second.
I know.
We were gonna have a big hug.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
It's a medium-sized hug. And now, what's he gonna do?
You get nothing.
That's even
What's he
worse,
gonna
We
do?
got a
by the
hug
way.
earlier. So you guys sent me questions. I've prepared some answers, and I've put the questions in Puzzle the Pelican's pouch,
Yeah.
which you can pull out, and we can see what you ask.
What if humans had to lay eggs to reproduce?
I think society would be different in a lot of special little ways. Do you guys? What do you thought about it when you asked? What do you think?
The whole idea, the thing that made this really intriguing for me personally was the fact that now this precious thing
Yeah.
that is not yet introduced to the world, it's in your possession for
Right.
some period of time. How long?
Could be
Months?
a pretty long time, yeah. I like the idea that it allows for the shared duty of pregnancy. So instead of like the pregnant person having to do all of the work, there's a little bit of time where like I'm gonna go. You take care of this egg for a little while. Shared duty.
I think Christy would say that is not an advantage because
She would not let you
now
touch the egg.
all of a
She would
sudden,
not let you touch the egg.
Yeah.
Catherine would happily pass the egg on to me as often as possible.
Oh, and there would be a whole industry
Oh, this is
of
the thing.
fashion. You know,
Oh,
you
like
think
accessories
you
for
think
walking around
Bjorn,
with the
you
egg?
think
Or dads
Bjorn is a
carrying
thing?
eggs.
What about like an industry of like, can you take your egg to someplace they take care of it for a little while for you?
That too,
Just leave it in an
yes.
incubator at home,
Yeah.
or is that like taboo?
Well, actually, it would be the safest choice.
There's kind of two ways animals do eggs. One, like birds tend to lay like a few eggs and then take care of them. And then a lot of like fish, reptiles, they lay a bunch of eggs.
we don't want to talk about fish, Hank.
We're not doing a bunch of eggs.
We're doing like a
One.
chicken.
One big.
An
Just-
ostrich.
Just the
big
way
egg.
that we do it, but egg.
Just one big egg.
Yeah.
Sometimes in a weird situation, you might get two.
Right.
Like
yeah,
happens now.
because it does happen.
I want to have sex with Christy,
Where
and
you
then
don't-
I want an egg to pop out of one of us. I would. Can
Can be either.
Can the egg pop out of me? Is the other part I'm interested
Well,
in.
the way seahorses do it is the female lays the eggs, but then puts the eggs in the man to incubate.
In the man's backpack that he has.
It's
that
a
he-
front pack, I think.
Right, yeah.
I little fanny
I
pack.
think that I would love to have my wife deliver an egg into my
So you're saying
person, and then I get to deliver it too.
Yeah. I don't know I don't know how we're gonna make that happen, but I will allow that sex is still a part of it.
Okay.
Okay.
We're not gonna you're not gonna make you have
Okay.
sex with an egg.
All right. So now I can contribute to the conversation.
But if this functions like a typical egg, then an egg is made every so often. Maybe an egg is made monthly.
It does seem like egg would just happen.
And so if you don't,
Because that does happen with us. You make egg.
Yes.
And then the egg just comes out.
and so would there be a market for unfertilized human eggs?
What would we do with them?
Right.
Because I know what we do with chicken eggs.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? Before we
It
continue,
definitely wouldn't be soft scrambled.
on the count of three.
Yeah.
Because I think we all have a size of egg that we're picturing.
Okay. Everybody close your eyes and make the shape of the egg.
Okay. In 3 seconds, make the size of the egg that you are picturing. 3, 2, 1, go.
Can I open my eyes now?
Oh, wow. Whoa! Hold your
Oh,
eggs up.
I think mine's smaller than y'all's.
Yeah, you're just.
This has to come out of a human
Link's got the
person, you
biggest one.
guys.
Link's got the biggest one. I was medium egg.
Well, it's elastic down there.
Because I tried to picture like the size of a
Says
human
the-
baby.
Yeah. Are you the one doing it? Where is the egg coming out of?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm talking about myself here. It is elastic.
It's elastic
down
down
Right
there.
out the urethra.
I even think I went big. Like I think it's.
there. Yeah.
But you gotta have a whole baby coming out of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I guess it has to be the size of a baby.
Right.
Yikes.
Somewhere between you and us is what happens.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a problem. I have potentially a worry, which is that egg-laying animals don't do milk generally. And so if we were egg-laying animals, we probably wouldn't have breasts.
Oh,
So we'd have
okay,
to
hold on.
find some other part of the body to be weird about.
Hold on. Did we just get rid of boobies?
We did, but so the question is that I have.
That's not in my platform.
That's unfortunate.
This is.
We didn't think
I'm not
this
telling
through.
you what. Like I'm not telling you. You're not.
we
saying
didn't think
what
this through, Hank. Thank you.
We're not.
Pull the plug on the.
Well, we didn't say this was our platform.
I think.
We just asked
Yo,
Hank the question, and now he's telling us why this is not going to be our platform
No,
because
we're-
it gets rid of boobs.
But I think we just find some other part to be weird about. And so my question is, what's the sexiest part of a chicken?
Well, it ain't those feet.
That's funny, because Hannah said feet first thing when I asked her earlier. It's the only exposed part is her argument.
Well, hold on. Are you?
I'm open to another exposed
Would
part.
this mean?
That one is scaly.
Would the pregnant people have to have cloacas?
Great question. I think, no.
So we've gotten rid of vaginas too?
We still got a hole that.
No. Listen. In some ways, we've combined into a super hole.
Well, there's less thinking that way.
I mean, if you think about it, it might be. It could be the sexiest thing imaginable.
Yeah.
Well, it would be.
And you didn't, with no forethought required, no aim required.
Right.
Ay, ay, ay. You really solved a lot of problems, you guys.
Yeah.
You're coming back around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If my wife had no breast but a cloaca, I could get used to that.
You know where to focus your energy. You wouldn't be as distracted. There's so many places to focus your energy
Yeah.
now. It just needs to, we need to get it all down to one
Yeah. right.
orifice.
You guys really worked it out.
Yeah.
You were off and now you're back on.
We're
But
back.
hold on. This eliminates an entire category of porn, though.
Yeah, look, I'm not worried about our ability to create new categories of porn.
If we're good at anything,
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
let's solve the egg problem,
Yeah.
and then we'll figure out.
They do like panda porn to get the pandas inspired to realize, oh, I can do that. Like make pandas when they're not breeding in captivity. They show them
Aspirational.
They use
panda
dogs
porn.
for that?
I think that they use pandas.
Oh.
I think they filmed some other pandas some other place.
All right.
And it works.
Sounds like a best practice.
Yeah. So, but I don't know what chicken porn would look like, but I bet not something I'd enjoy.
The beak is nice. It's smooth. It's not scaly.
I don't think we'll have beaks.
Yeah, we don't have to get beaks.
Oh, well, I was trying to answer your
That's true.
immediate question. What's the
sorry.
sexiest part
What's
of the chicken?
I did ask and you didn't answer.
I
So-
did. I just said the beak, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I did kinda shut you down,
This
I'm sorry.
thing, no.
No.
Not this thing.
You like a beak though?
My turn.
Yeah. What do you got?
How would the world change if all bread turned to gold?
Yeah, this one. I'm worried for a number of reasons. I think one thing you may not have considered is how much gold weighs.
Yeah.
And so
bread.
a lot more than bread. So I brought in to share. This is not
Is that
gold,
bread?
but this is
Is that lead?
it's a loaf of bread shape of lead.
Oh my gosh, Hank, you shouldn't have. You might hurt your thighs, tall boy.
Don't touch it with your bare hands.
Yeah.
because it is lead.
Is it radioactive?
No, but it is poisonous.
What?
Just because it's lead? You know, lead,
it's not that
good
poisonous.
for you. Poisonous enough. You probably used a bunch of lead on your fishing lures back in the day.
What?
Don't hurt your back.
Is that a commentary on my mental capacity?
No, I'm just saying you probably, I did. When growing up in Florida, you used lead weights back in the day.
I never fished and I never touched lead, so there must be another explanation.
For
Yes.
this situation.
This would wreak havoc.
On the shelves
Yeah.
The shelves
of the
themselves
grocery stores of
are
America.
a problem.
I am also worried about people who are currently eating a sandwich.
Oh, that would be crazy. Because so many people are eating bread
Hold on.
right now.
It wouldn't happen like the rapture, guys.
Oh,
We'd roll it out slowly.
No,
I'm also-
it's instant.
I feel like it has to be kind of instant.
Yeah.
I think that's
You
cruel.
think that bread
and
would just sort of
unusual.
like grow gold from the inside?
New bread that was being made would just come out as gold. So
have a little chance.
What?
That might be even worse.
What percentage of people have bread in them right now? I've got bread in me right now.
Yeah, I don't
had a
actually.
bagel.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We had bread today?
I did look, and it's kind of fine to eat
Keto's
gold.
looking real good right about there.
So you're not going to be injured by the gold. You're not going to be poisoned by it. That's fine. You can put gold
You
in
have to
your
be
body.
constipated by it.
Your digestive system might have a hard time getting it all the way through, depending on where it's positioned and how well you chewed.
Let's say it's pellets.
I think we should say that if it's been chewed at all, it's not bread anymore. Because it's
Okay,
not bread.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not, like if it's inside of a stomach, I'm not like, oh, that loaf of bread. It's,
You're right. It's got to be in the mouth.
But then you still got some chipped teeth to deal with.
Okay.
But
But you're rich.
I don't think you are.
No, you're not, because you instantly made gold worthless.
Correct.
Because the thing that makes gold valuable is its rarity.
Well, how do I cash in the gold before people realize that?
I think that it would be pretty big news.
Yeah.
I think the financial markets might pick up on it pretty quick. But interestingly, it would more than double the amount of gold in the world. But like, it wouldn't like 100x. So
It would just more than double it? There's that much gold?
It would, yeah, there's a lot of gold.
There's
a lot
so
of gold.
much bread, though.
There is, but there's not a lot of bread at any given time, and all the gold stays gold forever. Whereas bread has to constantly, we gotta constantly make more of it because we're always eating it.
Yeah, right.
But it still does more than double the amount of gold. I don't know if it 5x's or 10x's, but it's not like
What does
out
that
of
do to the
proportion.
economy?
It's not great.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as big a deal as you might think. So
Okay.
a lot of value is stored in gold. Like a lot of governments just sort of diversify. They own a bunch of different stuff, and one of the things they own is gold. To sort of say, oh, we've got a diverse portfolio of stuff.
Right.
And people do this too. And so people just own gold, either through a market or actually physical gold that cohabitates with them.
But America no longer
We're no
cares about
no country
no
is
country
on a
cares
gold
about-
standard anymore.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't destroy the value of the dollar. I think like gold has industrial use. Like we use it for stuff. We make it jewelry out of it, obviously, but we also make like there's electronics components that use gold. So there's like gold is going to remain valuable even if you increase the amount of it tremendously. So I think grocery stores might actually come out on top. I think grocery stores and bakeries might actually make a lot of money the moment this happens, but not nearly as much as they would if the gold market didn't collapse when this happens, which it would.
So
But
it basically becomes the utility of the actual metal.
rather than a store of value. And I think that other value stores would suddenly become more valuable. So people would be like, oh, I can't keep my money in gold. Sometimes bread turns into that. So
Sometimes.
like, I'm gonna move over to crypto or whatever.
There's some paranoia, and the tortilla market it just really went up.
Tortilla's not bread.
Right.
Tortilla is not bread.
What about like naan? Flatbread.
Well, it has the word bread in it.
Yeah, now the definition of bread, does it have
It
to
matters a lot.
does it have to be leavened
Oh.
to be bread?
But unleavened bread has the word bread.
Bread, it
Yeah,
still
it
does.
does.
Yeah. I think we'd have to change the name of that.
And what
We call
about-
it pre-bread.
We're all really leaning into tortillas. And
Pre-bread is
wait,
not bread, even though it has the word
pizza
bread in it.
bread?
Oh, pizza. Yes.
No. No.
Pizza's got bread. That's
well,
dough,
it's,
man.
it's dough, but let's not say bread, and let's figure out how to carve that out.
Yeah.
Isn't it surprising how heavy lead is? Yeah. You never like.
I want to touch it and
Yeah.
toss it around, but I don't want to die.
Yeah, we got gloves.
I never knew that the weight of lead would make me sad, but you've really disappointed me.
Why are you sad?
I'm just because I was living in a world. I was like Scrooge McDuck in a world full of bread gold, and
Your hands are not going to fit in those gloves.
Oh, yeah, they will. I'll force it.
that's what you're going to title this. You know, you got
Can
to.
Rhett put his hand in a glove?
Will Rhett's hand fit in this glove?
Oh, I want to bite it so bad.
I know. That's where people get in trouble.
I know. I want to lick it. I want to lick the hell out of it.
Now, gold is the softest metal.
Gold is soft. Gold is, and you can
The
lick it.
softest.
You're allowed to say.
There's not a metal softer.
Mercury might be a little softer.
Okay, there's one softer. But that's it.
Why is it so bad?
I actually don't know, so I shouldn't say. But I'll cut to future Hank, and he's going to tell you why lead's so bad.
Thanks, past Hank. I'm future Hank, and I'm going to tell you all more about lead. Lead ions can have the same charge and nearly the same size as calcium ions, which just makes them very easy to mistake for calcium ions, and calcium is used in the body a ton. Yes, of course, in bones, and that is important with lead poisoning because lead can get stored in bone, which isn't super great. But the bigger concern here is that calcium is super important for your nervous system and like sending signals between cells, and the same proteins that move calcium around will also grab onto lead, and and that is a problem for 2 reasons. First, because it turns out lead is much stickier than calcium, so it looks like calcium and it's got the same charge, but once you grab onto it, you stay grabbed on, which means that protein that grabbed onto the lead can no longer do its job, and that can make your nervous system stop working, which causes death, or make it work less well, which causes other problems. And second, because if it does end up getting into a cell without binding onto something, which it can do because it looks and feels so much like calcium, it will happily tear phosphate groups off of anything it can find. That lead wants to find phosphate groups, and phosphate groups are in, get this, everything. They're in the DNA, the cell membranes, and your body's energy transport system. You might have heard of ATP. The P in that is phosphate. So this lead-calcium thing is probably the most important way that lead messes up your body, but it isn't even actually the only one. It's just probably enough for now. Basically, by being really good at looking like the extremely biologically important and nearly ubiquitous calcium ion, but behaving in a way more reckless manner, even a very small amount of lead can do harm to many of your body's systems. All right, back to past Hank.
All right, boys. You got another question for me?
Of course we do.
Is it as weird and borderline upsetting as the last 2?
We didn't know they were going to be upsetting.
It's weird. I don't think this is that upsetting.
Okay.
Could laughter be weaponized?
Before I get into it, are you guys working on anything that you want to tell people about?
Yes.
Yeah,
Why-
I bet you're working on something.
I don't want to promote any of our work if people think it's the end of the video. Though.
It's not. Well,
It's
I
not.
just told I
Right.
haven't
That we're
even
gonna
answered this
answer
question
the-
yet.
People see the runtime.
Okay. Good.
Sometimes.
They look down. They see the runtime.
Sometimes.
We would like to issue an invitation for you to watch Rhett and Link's Wonderhole. It's a show. 6 episodes, half-hour comedy.
It was almost called Rhett and Link's Cloaca.
It's on our OG channel, the Rhett and Link channel, not the Good Mythical Morning channel. So, Wonderhole.
Yeah.
We're writing and working on season 2 right now, but watch season 1.
It's very cool.
It's
You
a
guys-
la- it's
you
a
never-
labor of love.
You never stop innovating, and I love it.
Try to stay believing in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Change or die, man.
Yeah, but continue to work with the same guy.
Yeah, except that. Except that part. Don't change that.
Yeah, no, same.
Don't change that.
Yeah. There's a pretty well-known effect where if someone makes you laugh, the social distance between you and that person decreases, and that can be very effective for groups that might not normally want to trust each other. If they share a laugh together, that can be good. But also you can, I don't know, ever been bullied? Ever?
Yeah, it is funny how like if you can make someone laugh, it very quickly becomes it's a tool in your kit of self-defense. You know, when you're talking about the bullying of it all. But yeah, like and it's very powerful.
It's very powerful.
It can keep you from getting punched. It can bring people together, like you said, that don't
or
like
it can
each
feel,
other.
It can also feel like getting punched. You know, like somebody laughing at a group of people laughing together can be a really it's easier to make people laugh if you share a lot of the same worldview with them. And I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where people are trying to figure out why you don't think it's funny, but you're the thing they're laughing at. That was big for me in middle school, where it's like y'all are laughing at me, and you're wondering why I'm not enjoying this.
Oh.
And it's because that's it's all about what you're doing, and it's directed at me. It's not at all what I'm doing. So there's always.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that happened.
You guys were just too cool to ever. No.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Hank.
Yep. That's right. I was the target of bullying in. You remember? I'm not going to say his name,
Okay.
Is that your way to tell me not to say his name?
but he's now in prison
Oh.
because he bullied someone to the point of
Oh.
killing them.
You guys, you don't know about your old murder friend.
what?
You should do a little whisper.
Is this a relative of mine?
No, after we graduated from
Do you
high
think
school.
this is a relative of mine?
After we graduated from high school, I saw an article about him, and he was arrested for killing somebody.
And he was
And he bullied me.
Oh, he bullied you.
Yeah. But it was more like, I'm going to come up to you and start. He was big. He was like 325. He was on the football team, and he would come up and he would just start play punching me. And then he would get me in a corner and start, and I would be like, ha 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 ha, laughing
So
it
you
off
would
the whole time.
laugh, but you didn't crack any jokes. You didn't.
No, I was just like, man, stop
It's
it,
so
stop
hard.
it.
Yeah, you can't. It's so hard.
But if I had the power of weaponized laughter,
Yeah.
to the point
You could just zap him with a laughter ray.
yeah, and the kind of thing where I'm
You're
just
talking
saying,
about telling a joke and then
No.
what? His
Nope.
appendix bursts?
that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, he
I'm
laughs.
saying,
He has a laugh attack.
nope. Me laughing
Yeah.
towards someone.
Oh,
At
your laugh.
A frequency, pitch, and volume that can incapacitate someone.
Like singing. It's working.
You see what I'm saying?
He
Yeah.
just incapacitated the sound person.
You maybe did it. Callie might never recover. I like
But
that.
it
So
worked,
it's
though.
like singing a super high note, but in the glass breaks. But also, what you just did makes me think that's not what it's about. What it's about is making them think that you are absolutely unhinged
Yeah.
and could do anything at any moment.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
And then it's just like, don't mess with Rhett.
I think we just
I think he's not all there.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? I am new to the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
Neat.
But I have learned enough to know that there is a spell that you can cast where you crack a joke and it's just uncontrollable laughter.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that.
Like just a mage, I guess.
If you have the spell.
You have
If
to
you
have
got
the spell.
yeah, if you've got it. But
Yeah.
in my hypothetical, that's what it is.
That's what it is. And that- okay, so you've got two different versions.
Yeah, you're making someone laugh to the point of they're frozen.
And that's a thing. Like, so there are some seizure disorders, neurological disorders where people can't stop laughing. This is a real thing. Those people are like not killed by this. So
But they're incapacitated.
You can't kill somebody by making them laugh, but they can't get a lot done. So if you could like drop laughter gas on
Can't
the
get a lot
front
done.
lines and just like walk into the,
Yep.
yeah, just be like, ha ha ha, you,
Here I am.
yeah, your army no longer can fight because they just everything's too funny.
Yeah, because there's
Yeah,
you know
they're
when
shaking
you're
around.
trying to aim.
And there's also like the sensation of laughter where you're like, I'm not actually finding anything funny. But then I don't know if you've also had the situation where you're laughing and it's like the joyful sensation of laughing, and you're not really sure where it's coming from, but you can't stop.
But it cascades.
Yeah.
When we were little, one of the things that we would do was incite laugh attacks because we had nothing better to
upon
do.
each other.
Yeah. Like
Not even laughing at anything.
you were doing this.
Yeah.
You've used laughter as a weapon on each other.
We
it's
would
gonna
look.
take a lot of energy out of us. To
No,
do it right
we can
now,
do it right now.
but
We'll do it. So you just
We'll
look
do
at
it.
each other and you just start laughing.
And sometimes it would work.
That's what we would do.
Sometimes not that time though.
It didn't work that time.
You guys are sweaty.
But now, I know, like now I've gotten sweaty.
That was intense. You changed colors.
Need a
We
wipe
would-
down.
We would literally do that, and it was just
as kids, just stare into each other's eyes and laugh.
Yeah.
yes, just to,
Adorable.
just to give, and then it would cascade, and it was just
Yeah.
it was like a communal release
This
of
question
energy.
is very much coming from a place of your past and history.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe in a way you didn't realize.
I never participated in one of these, but there's church services.
It's a Pentecostal thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that it actually started. There was like a movement that started in Canada, I think, where
A
there
groundswell of laughter.
basically the way you've seen this on TikTok and Instagram,
Maybe.
where there's these crazy church services where lots of things are happening,
Yeah, there's faith healing and speaking in tongues and
and
maybe
sometimes
just pushing people.
pushing people.
And
Yeah.
so there was this thing
Snakes,
like
possibly.
like slaying in the spirit where you would like knock somebody down. But then there was this whole movement that happened where they would do something like that and it would make somebody start laughing. And then they would all start laughing. And the people would be doing basically what we were just
Contagious
doing
laughter.
in like a religious setting.
Whoa.
And everybody would just be falling out on the floor, and then we would go through and just go through their purses and stuff. Like,
For a fraction of a second, you had me.
but it really, I mean, you're very vulnerable
Yeah.
when you're like
Yeah.
belly laughing. I mean,
sure.
there's this tension because
But
like deep laughter adds years to your life. It has all this positive power.
Yeah.
But then, well, you know,
you could get pickpocketed.
you could be
Yeah, right.
pickpocketed.
That's okay though. I'd pay
Yeah.
to have years of extra life.
Yeah. Just don't take a lot of money to church. You know what I'm saying? So when they pick it, it's not much.
Especially if you go to one of the big laughy churches.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I do think that laughter is one of the most adorable things that people do. You know, you're like, oh, did you say something a little weird? I'm gonna make a funny noise. Yeah.
It's an explosion.
A crazy phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's like an involuntary
You have to do it sometimes.
celebratory explosion.
Sometimes I'm by myself, watch a TikTok, and I go,
Yep, right.
weird. That's humans
because
are cute.
because you're signaling that
adorable.
to who? No one.
No.
You're just
It's
doing
like
it.
a burst of cuteness.
Yeah. I love it.
And it boosts things. Like it does stuff to your body.
And to be able to do it to other people, what a gift.
It'd be a great weapon.
Yeah. It'd be especially a great weapon if it's mostly being used to just make people happy and bring them together,
Yes.
reduce social distance instead of spreading it apart. And it can be used for both of those things. So you got to be careful. And I think that we here on this couch are.
Yeah. Careful is our middle names.
You make me appreciate that we do have a power that we're wielding, and we need to be smart about it.
I really like how you guys wield your power. and that's an honest statement.
We haven't thought about it that way because we don't want to get in our own heads about it.
Yeah, sure.
But I might start now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Careful though.
Thank you for giving us
Don't get too
permission.
narcissistic.
Come to our church service. Good mythical church service.
Yeah, you guys.
Wow.
Yeah. I think you
ROFL.
Nice.
Rhett
that in
often
the
frequently
closing credits.
frequently laughs.
Often frequently is a bit
Yeah,
of a
but I'm trying to
redundancy.
make an accent.
Yeah. Wow. You guys really are writing partners.
Rustic ostriches for
They're kidding.
fuel.
Lotion making.
Oh, LM?
Yep.
LMAO?
Some of the best lotion I've ever had.
ROFLMAO.
Yeah.
Rustic
It's from an
ostriches fuel
I really lost control
lotion
here.
making always often.
You are under our power!
All right, there's only one question left inside of Puzzle the Pelican's Pelican pouch.
This one really sums it all up, Hank.
I didn't realize we get this close to this question before getting to this question.
If the entire universe was discovered to be someone's abandoned science fair project, who would you guess the creator was, and what grade would they receive?
I would guess it was the two of you. I think you would get an F.
Yeah, we would be dangerous if we were in charge. We'd be lugging around
Just be a
gold
bunch
bread,
of sleepy chickens,
egg laying.
egg-laying chickens.
Contagious
Yeah.
sleep, yeah.
Yeah. I thought about this for a second. But do you think that this is possible? Like, have you thought about the sort of simulation theory of it all?
I don't like to. I think you might like to think about it like that.
I'm interested in it. I mean, so there's the simulation aspect.
Yeah.
And then there is what we have as this universe, does it point to there being some creator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this was a question that was more important to us earlier in our lives.
Yeah.
When it really mattered to have a definitive answer.
When
to
we
that
had the
question.
answer, it was very
We had
important.
the answer.
Right.
Now that we no longer have the answer,
Interesting.
you tend to hang on a little looser, which
But
is,
also
which is
when,
nice.
when you're no longer in that camp, like when you need an answer, a specific answer to that question in order to justify a belief that actually preceded that question, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then it's important to say, yes, there is evidence of that. And then when you're like, I just don't know, you're kind of like, I don't think this question is actually nearly as interesting as I once thought it was.
I am with you on that. But I do love the thought experiments, though.
Yeah.
It's fun to just sort of like goof around in the space.
Right. So, like, when you go there and you're thinking about, okay, as I observe and everything and understand as much as you seek to understand, you're a very curious person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think of it in terms of like sketching out a mastermind behind it?
No. I don't really think of that. I think of the things that we don't know, and the things that we used to not know, and the things that we do know, and the things that we're like kind of unsure of as categories. And like I've put that into a category of like we don't know. You know, I describe myself as an atheist, But if you say, well, does that mean that you're sure that there is nobody who created the universe? Like there's no conscious entity that created it? No, I'm an atheist in that like the versions of that we tell stories about here on Earth, I don't think are right. That seems to be like what most people think of when they're asking me that question.
Yeah.
Do you believe in God? They mean, do you believe in my God?
Right.
Not do you believe in a thing that, because like what the great thing about science is that I don't know is a great answer. And if you know the answer to all the questions, you don't have any reason to go look for the answer to all the questions. And so if you have I don't know, you need I don't know in order to try and figure out the answer to the question. So that's very much in an I don't know space, because we don't know why the Big Bang happened. We don't know why the universe exists. We don't really know why there's matter. There's a lot of messy space for I don't know there. And that doesn't mean that I, as a person who's not an astrophysicist, should try and like figure out what puzzle pieces fit into I don't know for me. It means that I don't know sits there by itself and is what it is.
But if we begin asking the question of like, what would we know about this creator and what grade would we give them?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so
I've got some serious thoughts on that.
So if Earth is an example of it working out, then everything else that we see around us is kind of like every other planet is an example of it not working out.
I don't know that would necessarily be I think that you could just as easily say someone created starting conditions and then whatever happened. And they didn't mean for the Earth to happen. Earth wasn't a success any more than Mars was. It was just like let the sort of put the marbles down the marble track. And
a deist worldview, I guess.
Yeah, well, someone wanted this to happen.
Yeah, because I'm going by like the way that I used to think about it, which was, and I would have had the fine-tuning argument, the argument from design or whatever. It was just like, oh well, clearly like
it's all so perfect.
This is so perfectly designed for human life. If we were, I mean, we would say things like if we were this much closer to the sun, we would all burn up. And even though we have an elliptical orbit that is millions of miles different from the sun, whatever. But like, if it's like these conditions are supposed to be fine-tuned for our existence, it's just like, honestly, like if I didn't have a house, I probably couldn't survive in Los Angeles very long.
No, it's not perfectly fine.
It's not that fine-tuned.
You figure it out. People lived here before there was air conditioning.
Based on all observable evidence that if there's a force behind it or a being, that it's somebody who started it, because you've seen no evidence, you've seen no need for any intervention.
I don't. There's not an if there for me, because that's giving it too much. It's just I don't know. If you know what I mean.
All right, but now you have to go with it and give them a grade.
If I give them a grade, so I'll give them an F, but not for the reasons you think.
Okay.
I think if you create like Earth, amazing people, much more amazing than we think. Animals, all this stuff is very good. But if this is a science fair project, you have violated a number of rules that you should not have violated. You got to get the animal testing permission. You got to get human testing permission. You got to get this through the Institutional Review Board, which you did not do. There is lots of ethical problems with creating an experiment like this as a science fair project, because along the way, a lot of adults would have stopped you. So this is a precocious alien teenager who thinks very highly of themselves, who also probably has severe ADHD, because that's gonna be a lot of work to set this up, and then also very easy to like put it to the side and go focus on something else for a while.
Let it evolve itself into whatever.
It's like, I got into Magic the Gathering and I forgot about my science fair experiment kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
But I think ideal situation.
I left it because I wasn't interested.
Yeah. Ideal situation is they don't get a grade, they get a stern talking to, but also they
incomplete.
They get recognized for like, okay, you're a very talented alien teenager.
You're really onto something.
We really do need to give you maybe some kind of special attention as a student, because this is impressive.
Yeah.
But also, you should not have taken this many liberties.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of unnecessary suffering.
Yeah. That alien teenager is responsible for like all of the bad things, but also all of the good things.
Right.
but also they didn't make us lay eggs.
Right, and they could have.
You guys, thank you so much. You're a delight and two true, real weirdos.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry for being so weird. We just couldn't help ourselves.
We wear it proudly.
If you go to the comments, people are asking questions. You can upvote the ones that you want me to answer. I'll answer a few of the top ones, and we'll have a good time with that. In the meantime, you can also subscribe. There's probably a button to do that that's somewhere nearby. And you can also turn on notifications, and we'd appreciate that. We're here once a month at youtube.com/complexly, doing Ask Kink Anything, and have great guests joining us over and over again.
Some better than others, though.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll do a ranking at the end.
Yes.
I hope we make it.
Thank you so much to Rhett and Link for coming out and asking your questions, and thanks so much to everybody who helped make this episode. If you, listening, have questions, leave them in the comments, and if you see questions you like, upvote those. I'll answer a few of them over the next few days. Also, if you want to see more of what we're up to, you can join the Complexly newsletter by visiting complexly.com.